Hi there. What we're going to do today is we're going to do polynomial and synthetic division. Now, I've written the problem in two different ways, and either one of these two methods or either one of these two forms will mean exactly the same thing. What we're going to do is x plus 3. I'm going to show you long division first. X plus 3 into x to the fourth. Now, there's no x cubed term, but I'm just going to put one in here, 0 times x cubed, as kind of a placeholder. Then minus 10x squared minus 2x plus 4. That's a ridiculously long looking thing. Alright, so here we go. We're going to play. First thing we need to do is we need to look at x going into x to the fourth. How many times does it go? Goes x cubed times. I'm going to put this quantity over the second term because there are two terms as my divisor. So I'm going to do exactly the same thing as I would do on normal division. I'm going to multiply the x cubed times each of these two terms, and then I'm going to subtract. So this x cubed times x would be x to the fourth plus 3x cubed. I'm going to do exactly the same thing I would do as if I was doing regular long division. The next thing I'll do is subtract. So I'll need to subtract each of these two terms, and then I would get, let's see, x to the fourth minus x to the fourth. This drops. I'll get negative x cubed, 3x cubed minus 10x squared. X into negative 3x cubed would be minus 3x squared. I'm going to multiply this negative 3x squared times each of these two terms and then subtract. I get negative 3x cubed minus 9x squared. Once again, I'll do just like I do in long division. I'm going to subtract. So when I subtract a minus, that makes this a plus, and it makes this a plus. Next, I'll do my subtraction. I'll get minus, looks like 1x squared, so I'll just write minus x squared, then minus 2x. I've got to divide x into negative x squared, so that's going to minus x. So do my multiplication, once again, minus x squared, minus 3x. And then I will subtract. So change each of these signs. Move my little screen up just a hair. And this term drops. Still on red. So I'll subtract here. This is a plus 3x minus 2x. That'll just be x. And then pull down my next term, plus 4. X goes into x one time, so it'll be plus 1, multiply, x plus 3, then subtract, minus, and a negative, and then I'll write down what I have left, and this is going to be my remainder. My remainder is going to be 1. So then I would write plus 1 over x plus 3. And there's my long division of a polynomial. Alright, I've done this for long division. I'm going to do exactly the same thing for synthetic division. And I should get exactly the same answer because it doesn't matter what method you use. You should still get the exact same answer. We're going to do this for synthetic. And we're going to see why we use synthetic division. Now, synthetic division is just something that we do. It's kind of like a little technique that makes our problem a little bit shorter and very convenient. For synthetic division, our divisor must be in x minus c form. Ours is not. We've got x plus 3, but we can write it as x minus a negative 3, which would put it in x minus c form. For synthetic division, we need to put our c in our little box up there at the top, and then we just write down the coefficients in order. And if I'm missing a term, x to the fourth has a coefficient of 1. X to the cube, he's not there, so he gets a coefficient of 0. then negative 10, then negative 2, he's my x term, and then 4. Every one of the terms must be listed downward in order, and if you're missing one, be sure to put in a 0. How you perform synthetic division is you will pull down your very first number, that's a 1. You're going to multiply and add all the way across. Negative 3 times 1 is negative 3, add negative 3. Negative 3 times negative 3 is 9, add negative 1. Negative 3 times negative 1, 3, add is a 1, negative 3. This is our remainder. Your last term is your remainder. Sometimes it comes out even. If this is a 0, it's come out even, and that is very handy. Now your coefficients all drop by a power. So this is the power now of my x cubed term. So x minus 3 divided by, x to the fourth minus 10x squared minus 2x plus 4 divided by x plus 3 is 1x cubed minus 3x squared minus 1x, or just minus x, plus 1, plus my remainder 1 over x plus 3. Very cute, very quick little technique when we are dividing. And you can use either method, and you still get the same answer. We're going to do this particular problem by long division, and then we'll do it by synthetic division. And he is not set up properly for synthetic division, so we'll have to manipulate him just a little bit. So I've got 3x minus 2 into this big old long thing, 6x cubed minus 16x squared plus 17x minus 6. I'm going to take 3 into 6x cubed. That's going to be 2x squared. I'm going to multiply by each term and subtract just like I did last time. So I've got 6x cubed here minus 4x squared. I'm going to subtract. So I'll get my little red pen, make my little subtraction marks. Oops, that's a plus now. Then I will add. That's going to be negative 12x squared plus 17x. And I'll do 3x into negative 3x squared. That's going to be minus 4x. And that's going to be negative 12x squared plus 8x. Lovely. All right. I will subtract, which means I need to change everybody's sign. Chunk, chunk. And I'm going to add. That's going to be 9x minus 6. 3x into 9x is plus 3. All right, so I'll multiply and then subtract once again. 9x minus 6. Oh, isn't this going to be cute? This one's going to come out even. So it goes into this evenly because I have a remainder of 0. All right, so this means I have 3x minus 2 going into this quantity. 6x cubed minus 16x squared plus 17x minus 6 goes in there evenly. Let's do this by synthetic division. It is not in x minus c form, but I can divide both terms by 3, and I could write this 3x minus 2 as x minus 2 thirds, dividing both of those terms by a 3, and that will be sitting here very nicely. All right, and if I divide this one by a 3, I probably ought to divide this little guy here by a 3. So let me write him down as, I'll write him over here, 2x cubed minus 16 over 3x squared plus 17 over 3x minus 2. And we're going to have him divided by x minus 2 thirds. And that's going to be lovely. So my c is 2 thirds. It's going to be going into 2 minus 16 over 3 plus 17 over 3 minus 2. Those are my coefficients. Sitting there right there. Bring down my 2. I'm going to multiply. That's going to be 4/3. This is nice because I have a common denominator here. So keep the same denominator, that's 3. So that is -12 over 3. That's pretty nice. -12 over 3 is actually just a -4. I'm going to write him as a -4. Okay, I'm going to multiply 2/3 times my -4. And 3 goes, let's see. Nope, I'm just going to have -8 over 3. Yuck. Alright, there's what I'll get. Keep the same denominator. That's a 3 over 9. Ooh, that comes out even. That's handy. So I'm going to write that down as a 3. And I'll multiply 3 times my 2/3. Oh, that's nice. 2/3 times 3 is just a 2. Look at there. Comes out even. Let's see what we've got. I'm going to get 2. My terms decrease by a power, so it's going to be 2x squared minus 4x plus 3. And it doesn't matter which way you do this, you still get the same answer. Alright, now you're also going to be asked to write this as a product of linear terms. What they mean by that is that, let's see, I need to see what he looked like. So I'll pull him up here. There he is. 6x cubed minus 16x squared plus 17x minus 6 equals, now I'm going to write him as a product right here in the middle of the page so you can see this, 3x minus 2 times 2x squared minus 4x plus 3. Now, I would look at this little guy here, and I would try to see if he would factor. He's not going to factor, so I'm just going to leave this one as such right now. But if he would factor, then I would do that rather nicely and just write it down as 3x minus 2 times whatever that factored into. But this is a product of some linear factors. You're going to actually be asked to expand this even further in the next section.